at any cost.
Congressman Mike Gallagher, in the midst of the chaos there at Capitol Hill, spoke one-on-one with Fox 11. I asked him about the developments in our nation's capital. Congressman Gallagher, thanks for joining us this afternoon. You are in the Capitol building as the protesters there were forcing their way in this afternoon. Describe for us the situation as you witnessed it.
It was utter chaos. I mean, this all started this morning with the president's rally, and then he directed people to go to the Capitol, and it quickly escalated. You had protesters violently clashing with Capitol Police. You sort of could persistently hear the sound of flashbangs being deployed, and then somehow, one of the office buildings had to be completely evacuated because someone had breached the security perimeter, and then it just spiraled out of control. All of a sudden, the Vice President of the United States was being evacuated by Secret Service from the House floor. Protesters had rushed into the House and the Senate floor. The House floor was barricaded. Windows were being broken. The Statuary Hall protesters were all over that. And then finally, as I understand it, someone was shot. I mean, think about that. Someone was shot as a result of this. So it's unacceptable. It needs to stop. And the president's the only one who could stop it. And this was the danger all along with the fire that the objectors were playing with, that they could just stoke the outrage and give people false hope that somehow we were going to change the results of the election today, when they knew there was no chance of that happening. And this is the consequence of that. This is the consequence of getting everybody fired up. It's actual violence in the Capitol of the United States. So it absolutely needs to stop. The president needs to stop it. And we just can't tolerate this type of behavior. And it's a sad day for American democracy.
With that rhetoric, is the president and are these lawmakers who have been objecting to the election outcome, are they in any way responsible for the actions here today? And what do you say to those people?
Well, I don't want to condemn any of my colleagues. I've obviously disagreed with them from a constitutional perspective. I've made those thoughts known, but their response to me was always, well, don't worry, it's not going to succeed. We're just going to have the debate and then we'll move on with our lives. Well, now we're seeing that was wrong. I mean, that was absolutely wrong. So at a minimum, I think we need to realize that we can't continue to play footsie with this idea that Congress is going to somehow overturn the election, because it's not going to happen. It's just going to get more people shot going forward.
You mentioned President Trump needs to come out and say this needs to stop. He did post a message this afternoon, a video message, saying that once again he maintained the election was fraudulent, but he did ask his supporters to go home in peace. Was this enough? Does he need to concede this election and move on?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see the video. I mean, to the extent he's saying go home peacefully, I welcome that. But I think if you're then simultaneously saying, well, no, we're still going to fight on another day and we're going to overturn the fraudulent election, you're going to find yourself in the exact same problem we confronted today. I mean, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but Congress is not going to overturn the election. And Congress is not going to prevent Joseph Biden from being inaugurated president on January 20th. And I think messing with the idea that something else is going to happen is very dangerous. And I've seen it today. I've actually never seen anything like this. The closest that comes to mind is my time in Iraq in 2007 and 2008, where elections are quite literally life or death.